Welcome to Forever Fierce. I'm Catherine Grace O'Connell, and I am so excited to introduce you to my guest today. Jaclyn Jones is the founder, creator, designer, visionary behind Jaclyn Jones USA. She had an idea to basically transform and take on the designer luxury shoe market and help women no longer feel like an injured animal when they're walking around in gorgeous shoes like this. So welcome to the show today, Jaclyn.
Thank you,
Delighted to
Catherine.
have you.
I'm very happy to be here.
So I'm so excited to dive into your story. Like, I can't wait. When I came across these shoes, I was like, first of all, they're drop dead gorgeous, but more importantly, there's a whole story behind them. They're not just beautiful, are they?
They're not. They are absolutely comfortable, and they're meant for the woman to wear them all day, every day, because that's what we need in our beautiful luxury shoes. And it's not a 5-minute, let me put them on, take a couple pictures and take them off. These are forever shoes.
I can vouch for that, guys. I mean, I think I was in them for about 8 hours on a shoot. When you're on a shoot, you're up, you're down, you're running around. It was amazing. I did not want to take them off.
I'm glad to hear it. And so what makes our shoes so special is that we build in these amazing comfort features that other brands just don't do because they either cost extra money or it takes extra time. And a lot of times these companies are run by men and they're not having to wear the shoes and they don't feel the pain that we feel. And so I made it a mission to make beautiful luxury shoes that built in these comfort features.
I think I'd pay $1 million to see a male CEO walking around in, those high heels, just to have the experience, for heaven's sakes. Yeah. It makes perfect sense to have a woman who is walking in those shoes, yes, designing the shoes as well.
Yeah.
So when you walked in, I was like, I had to ask you your age, and you told me you're 30.
I am 30.
So 30 right now, but you were in your 20s when you had this idea, and not just had this idea, you made it happen. You launched your own company and everything that goes into that. So please, share that story with us.
I would love to. As a young girl, I was always creative and artsy and had a dream to be in the fashion industry, and ended up going to college and doing business and marketing and really feeling just off my path, and decided to make my way back to it. I went back to school, got my fashion degree, and really decided to focus on shoes because I felt a really missed niche market of the women just like me that go around and want to wear beautiful luxury shoes but can't because they're not comfortable, and I'm not going to spend all that money on a pair of shoes and have them sit in my closet as a museum piece.
Exactly. And these can be a museum piece, but they're actually wearable. I mean,
Yes.
they are a beautiful piece of art, but a wearable piece of art.
Exactly.
Yeah, incredible.
So I learned the shoe industry inside and out and decided to jump on my journey. And it really has been an adventure to find all of the pieces that come together in these shoes. And I spoke about, the comfort that is built into these, and finding all of those features has been a challenge. But
finding the features and then finding the whole, start to finish in this process, you find the features, you've got to find the artisans, because yours are handcrafted and handmade by artisans. That is kind of something that's gone by the wayside. People don't really know that in the designer luxury shoe market, do they?
Yeah. So a lot of these, major powerhouse brands, again, run by men, but are also very mass-produced. These shoes are made on a huge scale, and they are kind of, printed off a printing press, and then they're sent across the world. And you can go to a party and see, maybe 10 other girls in the same shoes. And we wanted to shy away from that notion because these shoes are works of art. They're handmade start to finish in Los Angeles factory by artisans. I mean, every stitch is hand done, and every wrap of the material or fabric is just all done by hand.
Now, are you overseeing that process from start to finish? There's a gorgeous, plate here that you call, what do you call it again? The Jaclyn?
It's a signature heel plate.
Signature heel plate. That you guys, I could just stare at this plate all day long. But mean, truly, there is like every single facet of this boot, from, you know, the printing into the leather, to the softness of the leather, to the 4mm insole. I mean, every single process. So are you intricately involved in every detail of making these shoes?
Absolutely. That's the great part about, you know, using artisans here in the US and in Los Angeles, is that I am a part of the process from start to finish. I am in the factory with the artisans almost every day, and we're working on every detail and, you know, deciding what stitch is going where and what color it is, and, you know, how to round out the shoe. And what I love about these shoes is that like you mentioned, they could be a museum piece. If you actually look at them and inspect them, they are down to every detail. The heel plate has our logo on it. The you know, all of the hardware is custom made. Our buckles, I can show my buckles.
I know
These
the buckles on those
also
are
represent
gorgeous.
part of our logo. We have special rivets that have our logo on them also. Every part of the hardware is hand designed by me.
And your website, you have a multitude. You go from flats to heels to dressy shoes to army boots to mules to, you know, and patterns to plain shoes. So share with our audience, where can they find these shoes on your website? And you're going to be launching also trunk shows, which is super exciting.
It is. So yes, everything's on our website, JaclynJonesUSA.com. And additionally, what we found is that our shoes are very special, and you can see it and feel it the minute you put your foot into our shoes. And so what we want is to get in front of people and not just be an online store. So we want to start doing trunk shows and get our shoes in front of people. And there's a ton of perks for hosting one. You can, you know, have it right in your home if you want. And if, you know, if you sell a certain amount of shoes, you get a free pair.
And you guys, you want a free pair. Trust me, you want a free pair.
There's a lot of perks. And I will personally come to the trunk show.
Wow.
So that I can talk about the shoes, because they're all about that relationship. This is what our brand is about.
So now people can find this again on your website.
Yes.
There's a culture tab. Is that what I
understand?
Tab.
Yep.
Culture tab. Reach out.
It says trunk shows. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Culture tab, trunk shows, and anywhere in the United States. Is that primarily anywhere in the United States? And you will really get on a plane.
I'm absolutely willing to go outside of the U.S.
Now that is amazing.
Milan, Paris.
Yeah, right.
You tell me where the trunk show is.
I won't turn you down. Yeah, I would highly recommend that. So, all right. So take me back. You're this young girl. You're 13 years old. You are asking your parents for a sewing machine.
I am.
I mean, you've had fashion in your bones since you were.
Yes.
So
I've just always loved creating, and since my first sewing machine at 13, I started making clothes and Halloween costumes, and I made my prom dress one year, and just creating whatever I could.
And then where shoes? So we pivot from fashion to shoes.
Yes. So obviously a bit harder to just sew your shoes at home.
Exactly.
Other than, you know, I definitely made some slippers here and there. But shoes became my passion when I got a little bit older and was starting to wear 4-inch heels and going, you know, trying to go out and dancing, or even just walking around standing at a function was miserable. That really triggered my passion to find comfortable shoes. And on that journey, finding those, they weren't generally stylish, and they weren't luxury. They tended to be kind of more of the discount brands, or just kind of everyday shoes. They weren't beautiful, ready to go out, you know, amazing shoes.
So you've really created your own real Jaclyn Jones dynasty. And, I mean, truly.
I would love to think that.
I mean, it's a dynasty, and it's such a handcrafted, personal connection with your customer. I mean, are you the only woman out there heading a designer luxury shoe company that is actually wearing the shoes that she's designing?
You know, there's a couple other lady designers that I really look up to. Tory Burch is one of them, and she's created an entire lifestyle brand on her, you know, based on her aesthetic, and she has really created that dynasty and that empire for her brand. And my favorite shoe designer, which I get asked often, is Sophia Webster.
Oh, right. Oh, I love her shoes.
Yes.
Love her
so
shoes.
she's a UK
really
designer.
Fun and whimsical. Okay.
Oh, so whimsical, and just they're fantasy shoes, and they're so much fun.
So those are great role models for you.
Yes, and what I love most about Sophia is that she took basic shoes to the next level, and they're so unique and so different, and she thought out of the box. So that was, I kind of like to think that I took Tory Burch's, kind of idea of a lifestyle brand, and then Sophia's whimsical,
a little Betsy Johnson sort of woven in there, where it's kind of out there.
Mix it together.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting combination. I like that. I hadn't thought of that. Well, so tell me, why was it so important to have these shoes made in the USA and handcrafted? And obviously that leads to a higher price point. But
it does.
But share, what was the passion for you for that, and how you sort of, I don't want to say overcome the hurdle of a high price point, but that puts you in a whole different category.
It does. So I was really sick of these mass-produced shoes that were just, really being, pumped off the line, and wanted to make unique pieces of art. And I really aligned with making in the U.S. because it also supports our local communities, and as you mentioned, I get to be involved in the process. And with that, hand in hand, I get to see and work with all these people, these artisans. And so I know exactly how they're being treated. I know how they're being paid. I know exactly what's happening in the arena here in LA manufacturing. And it's fair wages, it's a clean environment, it's healthy, it's not, you hear
cheap labor that we have.
You hear horror stories about other shoes.
Yeah, you hear horror stories, and you have a big. You're very transparent, and you're going to be actually opening your factory for people to come through. Is that right?
Yes. So
I want to go.
We get a lot of questions about people wanting to tour the factory and see exactly how shoes are made, and so we are probably in the next couple months going to start opening the factory to bring in tours.
Super exciting. You're moving, right? Is that
the factory is moving to a new location? Yeah.
So I definitely want to sign up for a tour. I want to be one of your first tours. I want to see that process.
Yeah.
So tell me, as a woman, and you're taking on this really kind of male-dominated, designer shoe market. Yes, there's some amazing women in there, but in general, it's male-dominated.
Yes.
And you've got to learn this process from start to finish. There's so many different facets. Number one, did you know all of these things that you were really getting yourself into?
I'm laughing because that's hysterical.
Right?
No, it's a learning process every day. It is never boring. Everything is new all the time. Whether it's working with a PR firm and finding all these new avenues of ways to find customers and reach your customers with your message, or really finding all of the pieces of the shoes, where to source leathers. One thing that we do that's amazing, that your shoes that you're wearing, the Magnolia is a great example of, is that we found that we could take a digital file and print it onto the leather. And so that is a navy leather, a lamb leather that we found, and we printed those flowers directly on them.
It's incredible.
So that's a unique material that you won't find anywhere else. That is Jaclyn Jones exclusive.
Absolutely amazing. And this was the shoe on your site. I mean, I wanted pretty much one of everything, but if I had to just choose one, it was hard. It was definitely hard. But this was the one. It was just such a standout. It was so unusual, so different than anything else that was out there.
It was the first one I designed, and I really, really love that shoe.
I love it too, and I definitely want to go deeper into that story. But one thing that came up earlier, I said there was another shoe I loved. It was the Army boot, the Amaranth, which is it's so unique and so different. And they didn't have my size, but you, unlike any other company, if you don't have a size, you can do something about that.
We can special order your size because we work with artisans and smaller factories. What we do is we just kind of gather the materials and send that shoe through as a one-off. And so you get a shoe made just for you.
That is amazing. It's about a 4-week process?
It's about 4 weeks, start to finish. Sometimes if we need to source the material, it might take a little bit longer, but you can also, if we only have it in olive and black and you want white, you can request a white shoe.
You can request white.
Have a totally custom Jaclyn Jones USA shoe.
That is amazing.
That's the advantage of working here in the U.S. with artisans and small factories.
Now, is that inherent just in your nature to be so personally connected with your customer and
Absolutely.
caring so much about every facet and, obviously making sure that they can get that shoe that they want within a certain period or change it up? That's incredible.
I mean, they're shoes and they're going on your feet and they're representing your style and your personality. And so don't you want to love them?
and I do love them. And I feel like this is a shoe, I would have it forever.
Yeah,
forever.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope I have it forever. So, so back to what have you learned in this process? You get into this, you launch your own company. There's so many different facets to owning your own company. Obviously, like you said, you've got to create the designs. You've got to find the artisans to make the designs. You've got to find the different fabrics and materials, source those around the world. You've got to create the designs, like printing, learning to print designs.
Yes.
The laces, like every single facet. Then it's a factory and a PR firm and marketing and I can't even begin to imagine all the different facets. So how does someone so young really figure all that out?
You
dive in.
Kind of make it up as you go along, really. Just roll with the punches. And I'd say a key factor is really bringing in a good team around you. It's all about that support. And I have a couple team members that I don't know where I'd be without them. They really help carry the brand. I have a production manager in LA that is in the factory every day, so that if I can't be there, she's watching and making sure that all the details are as they are supposed to be.
That's amazing. So she lets you do what you need to do, focus on what your strengths are, and then you delegate those strengths to.
Exactly. So if I'm traveling or if, in other meetings, that she's also on it. And I have other team members that do marketing and social media and just brand strategy. It's all about having that support team that makes the brand.
A team is key.
Successful.
So you went to business school and you transitioned. You had a reinvention in your 20s, which I love this whole generation. Like, and I don't know if you call you, I guess I would call you a millennial. You're in the millennial generation. But in my generation, you basically got out of college and you took a job and it was like your career. And there was, still pensions and all that kind of crazy. You were there for a long time. You generally planned to be there for a long time. Now it's this, I'm not fulfilled right now. I'm not feeling my passion here. And you jumped ship and completely reinvented and started over fashion school. In your 20s, startup after that, like going back in. So take us through that process and what was that like for you?
Absolutely. And I think at any point changing careers, you're never losing all of the knowledge that you started with in the first career. And I started in business and marketing and will forever take those tools with me throughout my life. So
I imagine those come in very handy right now.
They do. And so I switched gears and jumped into fashion and found, it was tough coming out of fashion school and being in my mid-20s and having to start back at entry-level jobs because I was brand new to the fashion industry. And I very fortunately found a company that had a startup type mentality, and I got to work under an amazing mentor who took me under his wing and taught me so much and really helped me through my path and building myself as a fashion employee, I guess you could call it.
I read that in your what you had sent to me, and I thought that was fascinating. We had done a campaign this fall that was all about reciprocal mentorship because I think mentorship it's so important, and it's important that we have mentors of different ages because you had this older mentor who was able to mentor you, but you're able to mentor. Mentorship is a beautiful thing. We've got to share what we learned.
Oh, and he was so willing to share all of his knowledge with me and put me on emails that I'm not personally involved in, but letting me see how he's handling things and things, much higher up in the company. And, we ran so many different brands. We were an umbrella company for almost 20 brands. And so I got to see new brands start up. I got to help continue more mature brands, work with buyers, do sales and product development, and really got to see all aspects of the company and
all the facets.
I couldn't be this far along as quickly as I did without that.
Yeah, sounds like you've got this broad spectrum sort of crash course education.
I did.
All at once, which is wonderful. And I know you've got your Shelby, who is one of your right hands, here with you today.
Yes.
And clearly, a team is really important. Mentorship is really important. Surrounding yourself with people that have like strengths and areas maybe that are your, I don't know if I say your weaknesses, but obviously building a team around different people with different strengths and coming together, all together, stronger together.
Absolutely. And really trusting those people and being able to actually delegate and leave them with tasks and know that it's going to happen and not have to check their work and just know that it's done.
Yeah, trust.
Yeah.
I hear trust is big.
Yeah.
So this mentor, is he still involved in your life now?
He's around day to day.
He's around. Is he involved in the company?
He's not. No,
he's not. He's still with the other company,
yes.
but he's still there to give you advice if you need it.
Yes.
Yeah. Now that's brilliant.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. So what do your parents think?
Well, my mom loves it.
Yeah.
She's our number one customer.
Have you made your father walk around in them?
No, gosh, no. Poor dad.
I'm teasing for the male experience there, but
my mom is a hoot. I'll show her, we design at least a year in advance, and so I'll be showing her. For example, we're in summer right now, so I'll be showing her spring, summer styles for next season. She's like, okay, so I want one of these and one of those. And Mom, you have to wait a year. she just gets anxious. Yeah. She wants them all. So
I know that feeling. Totally know that feeling. I want them all.
Yes, but very supportive. My mother is also a business owner, and my sister
is.
And my sister is going to be taking over her business. So
oh my goodness!
I come in a long line of female entrepreneurs and business owners. So definitely draw my strength from them and get, just a lot of strong female power from them.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that's a rarity back, in the day when I was growing up. So yeah, I can't wait to hear more about your mom. Yeah. She sounds like an amazing woman.
Oh yeah, she is.
Well, we're back from a little break because I had to answer the door. Santa Claus was here. Brought us some gorgeous shoes. I wanted you guys to have the Jaclyn Jones experience. The Jaclyn Jones experience is unlike really any other experience. And I wrote a blog post on this, and I really talked. I mean, I was like at the door like a little girl at Christmas waiting for this package to arrive, but I had no idea like, really what goes into this. So it's an experience from start to finish. So talk about this. This is what arrives.
Yes. So I really wanted the first impression of the brand to be, the box. It's the package that, the beautiful package that your shoes come in, and it gives you that first look at the brand. So we have these gorgeous boxes. I just love them. And our feminine, really beautiful floral print and, gilded logo. But this was the first look at the brand. Like you said, they come, it's going to come in a brown shipping box.
Right,
exactly. And you open it and it's just, glowing in your face. And once you open the box, there's a handwritten note from me or our team, and it's like you said, it's all about the personalization. So
every detail.
Yep, the whole thing is one package, and your shoes are well kept in a nice box. They're really nicely wrapped, and they're going to come to you in pristine condition.
I got to tell you guys, I've never had an experience like this when I open the box. And there's this box within a box that is so beautiful. And then, like Jaclyn said, there's this handwritten note from her personally. And it was so touching. And then I didn't take the shoes out for a while. I left them in the box because I felt like, it was just a piece of art. It is
great.
But thank God I get to wear them now. Success. So, and I know we left off really about talking about your mom. So I want to go back to that and then move on and really talk about the shoes and then the Jaclyn Jones customer.
Yeah.
But your mom sounds like an amazing woman.
Oh, she
is. She is right in the Jaclyn Jones demographic, and clearly she sounds like a powerful role model who really shaped the woman that you are today.
Absolutely. Hands down. She really always pushed my sister and I to really to beat the boys. We could be better at sports, and we could be better in the classroom, and we could be, just anything, any aspect of our life was really push hard, be that strong woman, and really instilled some amazing core qualities in both of us that have made us such strong women. And we hear it all the time, honestly, because it shows in our life choices and how we just kind of take our mannerisms through day to day.
You talk about that on your website, your mindset. Like there's this mindset that you have. You're not going to take no. You're just going to, and you're going to figure it out as you go along. Those obstacles come in, and you're going to figure your way through them. May not be easy. It's probably not going to be easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be easy.
Everything's a challenge, and I think that life is always going to throw challenges at you, and how you react and how you overcome things is what defines you as a person. And so it's taking everything step by step and breaking down the huge mountains and, taking them level by level, how, just one step at a time.
So those are your personal qualities. Tell me about the personal qualities of the Jaclyn Jones customer.
Yeah.
Tell me about her.
So, we'd like to say our typical customer age range is from 40 to 60.
Love that. Love that.
And, a lot of that comes with the price range of our shoes. They are luxury shoes, and there's a lot of details and work that goes into them. And so they do cost a lot. And so these women are, more established women, and they can afford these shoes. But not only that, is that they have a certain personality about them, and a timeless quality, but also a chic and fun and elegant quality that, these shoes really show off who they are.
Yeah, I said I could see Meghan Markle in them. So Meghan Markle, if you're out there watching, I can totally
Kate
see
Middleton, you too.
Yeah, Kate Middleton, and we'll take anyone in the royal family. Yeah, exactly. We love you both. But I mean, to me, that is who I see, because there's an elegance, but there's also a sass.
Yes. It's a classy but fun.
Yeah, but fun. There's a real fun. So, and then I want to get into the inside of the shoe too. So your shoes, and you can,
yes, I would love to show. This
really shows a traditional shoe.
Yes. So this is an insole. If you've never seen one, this is what insoles look like. Right here, you can see this bump. This is the metal shank in the shoe. So this gives a high heel its sturdy pitch, so that your shoe doesn't collapse while you're wearing it. And so there's multiple pieces. You can see all the layers in here. And so this is what a regular insole looks like. The bottom's flexible, so that, when you walk, there's some movement to it. But
that is almost like you're hitting the ground.
It's cardboard. Yeah. It's really thin and stiff. It's not fun to walk on. So
injured animal shoe.
Yes.
Injured animal shoe.
So generally this is what you're walking on. There's a couple layers of, leather or material, so that gives you some squish, but not much. So the Jaclyn Jones custom-made insoles look like this. You can see this is completely covered in foam, and it's a special foam. It's called Puron, and it has a rebound rate, so that after 10 wears it's not going to just flatten. So you can see we have all of our cardboard and the steel shank, but you can see all these different layers in here, and the foam on top is 4 millimeters thick. And I will tell you, I went to insole maker after insole maker after insole maker, and it was pulling teeth to try to get these insoles made. It is just not done in the industry. People do not add this amount of foam. And
they couldn't figure out a way to conceptualize having a comfortable shoe and a hot and sexy, right?
Yes.
It just wasn't.
Right. It wasn't done. And even once I got the insoles made, taking this insole to the factory and saying, make me a shoe on this, they said, no. What do we get? We can't do that while that foam's in the way. So it was definitely, there were some obstacles and a lot of convincing happening.
You found a woman, though.
I did.
You found a woman.
In my insole search, I did finally find a company that would make them, or at least try. And they tried a couple different materials and different thicknesses, and this is what we went with. And it wasn't until after the fact that I realized that is the only company that a woman is in charge, and she's the one helping me. And I don't know if that's a coincidence, but it seems like she maybe wanted these shoes too.
Yeah, exactly.
And she was willing to try different types of foam and help us come up with the Jaclyn Jones custom insole.
Well, it clearly makes an enormous difference from what I'm wearing, but you can really see it.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see it. And you can see that first one is painful.
And I'll tell you that even at the factory, they said, when we wrap this and you see the insole, it's going to be thick. And I said, no one's going to notice that any different than any other shoe from up above. But the amount that they're going to feel the difference,
it's enormous.
That's where, seeing a little bit extra thicker insole, wrapped, you can tell. I don't know if customers or viewers
here
can
where
see.
you can see this, but
so it's a little bit thicker than your average shoe because it's not paper thin, but no one notices that. But
never,
you feel it.
You feel it, and it's the way you design it is so beautiful that it's like seamless. It's like hidden in there.
Yes.
So, and then there's another facet that many of us have had that experience of putting on a shoe and that wearing in, and you've got the blisters, and you've got this hard leather. So you solve that. You source.
Yes. So I am that person that goes into a store and I touch everything I see. I'm a sucker for soft.
These are so soft.
And, I'm very particular about buying leather jackets. It has to be that really soft, supple lamb leather jacket. And so I really wanted to bring that to shoes. A lot of, the other mass-produced shoes are this rigid leather, and it's just made to look like something instead of how it's going to be felt when it's worn. And so my goal, my number one goal was absolutely hands down, all of the shoes have to be lined with lamb leather so that the part that's touching your foot is soft and it's going to hug your foot. And the other great thing is that it's not synthetic. The natural leather actually breathes better. Synthetic holds in moisture and smells, and so our shoes don't do that. So natural lamb leather lets your foot breathe and lets the shoe breathe so that it actually lasts longer. It's higher quality.
I can vouch for that. I can vouch for everything, especially, I say, but a menopausal woman is usually hot, and these are comfortable, they're cool, they're stylish. I mean, we got looks everywhere. We got stopped on the photo shoot. Jaclyn and I, if you check out the blog post, Jaclyn DePaul, Yellow Brick Runway, and myself did the most amazing photo shoot. And we literally had people stopping us everywhere. So it felt a little like, our paparazzi moment. Yeah, it was really fun.
But so the uppers, so the lining is all lamb. And then even the uppers, as much as possible, if I can find lamb or a really soft cow or calf leather, that's what I like to use, because I know that the way that the shoe holds onto your foot makes a huge difference in every step that you take.
Yeah, I would.
If it's stiff and it's wrinkling and it's pushing in one area, that's where you get blisters, or it's just where it's rubbing in a certain area. And with lamb leather, you don't have those issues because it's so soft, it's moving with you.
Yeah, I can vouch for all of those things, you guys. I highly recommend, especially testing them out. Like you said, your goal is to get women in the shoes so they can feel it for themselves.
Yes, it's really hard. We can tell people these qualities as much as possible, but without actually feeling them. And I've had so many of my friends that, they hear it, they see it, they see me talk about it all the time, but then I'll bring them over and be like, well, just put on that pair. And they just
transformative. It's transformative.
They say, I get it now. And I would 100% pay this luxury price to be getting these amazing, soft, comfortable shoes. It's such a difference.
The nice thing is your demographic is really, generally is around 40 to 60, or ideally, which is the Forever Fierce Revolution. That is, the age range that is vibrant and vital within our community. So if women in our community want to host a trunk show, they would just go to your site, click on the culture tab, and shoot you guys an email, or how do they go from there?
On our website, the trunk show page has a little form that you can fill out to send us some of your info, and we'll get right in touch with you and find out what the best place to do it is, when a great time for both of us to set it up together. We can figure out some sort of a champagne bartender or something of those sorts to keep everyone having fun. Shoes are meant to be fun.
Shoes are meant to be fun, and these shoes are meant to be experienced. And I love that there are a lot of women in our community that are looking to reinvent themselves. And obviously that is one way. If they want to go hosting, trunk shows, they can get shoes for it.
There are a lot of perks.
There are
you as the host make, you make money off of every pair that you sell. And as we mentioned earlier, if you sell a certain amount of pairs, you get a free pair yourself.
That's a perk, guys.
That's
a perk. That is not a coffee at Starbucks perk. That is a perk. I mean, this is an incredible perk. I can't tell you enough about these shoes. So you've got to have your own experience. So when it comes to reinvention, since we have many of
Yeah.
these women out there reinventing themselves, you are been, quintessential reinventor and reinventor. So what would you advise women if they're looking to reinvent themselves at, pretty much any stage in life?
Oh, that is a great question. I would say the top things that have kept me going, one thing I would say is to really find your voice. There is so much clutter out in the world, and it's hard to speak up and be heard, but find your voice and don't let anybody tell you anything other than your voice. Reinventing what shoes mean to people is hard to get through. People just know shoes as shoes, but to get my voice and really get behind it and be strong with it is a big one. So I would say find your voice is one big thing. Be resilient. There are going to be a lot of hurdles.
Yep.
There
a lot of
are gonna
no's, a lot of obstacles.
Yes. A lot of disappointments, a lot of just issues. Some
So
days
be
are
prepared.
very stressful.
Expect them.
Yeah. So just being resilient. And let's see, the third one I would say is never expect that you've stopped learning.
Always be open to learning.
Yes. And every single day I'm learning something new and figuring out a different way to do something or a more efficient way, or, don't ever expect that you're the smartest person in the room, and just always be open to learning. Starting a business is not boring.
You're always learning. So I think that's really valuable, especially women in this community now. A lot of them are just like myself, finding their voice for the first time in their life. So find your voice, be resilient, and no obstacles are going to come. And you guys have the strength to get through them. And then the third one was
never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
Yeah.
Never stop learning. We're always learning. And how important is belief? To me, I feel that you really believe in yourself and believe in your mission and believe in what you're creating.
Absolutely. And I think that's at the core of all of those is, believing in yourself will help you to continue to be resilient, and, believing in your voice. And as you mentioned, you're going to hear a lot of no's and a lot of non-believers and a lot of people that, just aren't on board with you. And all you can do is believe in yourself, right? I mean, that's where it starts, is from the inside. And so just really find what that is and stick with it.
And hone it.
Yeah.
And passion. Passion plays an enormous
Absolutely.
part in what you do. Passion, creativity. What advice do you have for women for really finding that passion?
For me, my passion is the creative aspect. And sometimes it's tough to balance that with all of the business stuff that I have to do and emails and continue taking over things. And it's really spending time in the passion phase. So really actually closing my computer, putting things away, and allowing myself to bring out my passion.
So passion and creativity fuel you to be able to do those other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so I think if you're looking for your passion and trying to find it, spend 5 minutes a day, maybe 10 minutes a day if you can. Sit down, give it your fire. If it's, drawing or creative, or it's writing or anything else, give it time to develop. Absolutely.
And if there's a woman out there, be at any age, that, like you said, in your 20s, you were in something and the energy wasn't there, the passion wasn't there, to listen to that inner voice and do some soul searching.
There are so many people I hear about that say those things, and they're not happy in their job, and they're, all we can do is try something new. If you don't try, you're going to continue on the same road. So make a change. It doesn't have to be drastic, one step at a time. Start with a class. Start in a class. Start learning something new. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Try another class.
Greatest obstacle you've ever overcome?
Greatest obstacle?
Is there something you didn't think you could at the time, and then looking back, I did it.
Create a company.
Well, touche. Touche. Right?
Yeah, there was definitely a point in my life when I said, I'm on this journey and I work for other people, and that's just the way it is, and that's how life works. And it was getting out of that mindset and saying, no one else is making this. and I can do it. So I'm going to. And I think the obstacle is fear, honestly.
Fear is a big one.
To really take the leap.
So what do you do to overcome fear? Clearly you have a belief and a strong mindset, but let's say you're hitting an obstacle and that fear comes up. What do you do? What do you tell yourself?
So I definitely think that there is kind of a strategy in it, and something that you kind of learn over time after dealing with so many obstacles and challenges. But identifying the fear is the first thing. And fear can take over and be so strong when you're dealing with something and it's so present. But identifying that, okay, all it is my fear. What am I afraid of? What in particular? Okay, what if that happens? These things. Okay, what if that doesn't happen? These things. And how to really just go through it without either of those paths and trusting in what's happening.
So you deal with it. You label it. You work through the feelings rather than pushing it aside and going, because it's going to come back bigger and stronger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah.
That's incredibly wise advice. So what is your vision? You know, Jaclyn Jones, you're 30 years old. You've started your own company. Where do you see this company in 10 years, 20 years?
Oh, this has been very relevant lately. As really, we're a couple seasons in, and then what? Where are we going? And I'd say first on the docket for very current is that, we have a lot of celebrity clients, and a lot of our shoes are, very sexy, but they're not necessarily red carpet. And they have a lot of discomfort on the red carpet. And so we've been asked for some red carpet looks. So
there was I just saw a video of someone who said she'd only wear like flats on the red carpet. What was that? I'm totally blanking now.
There are a handful of women that
exactly. So that's
heels.
it. I will not wear. How interesting, because they become so uncomfortable. So you're taking on the red carpet.
Yes. So that is kind of first, and then really becoming more of a lifestyle brand like Tory Burch, and having some sportwear, and also, jumping into the men's market.
Interesting.
That the company I worked for previously was men's footwear companies, and I love men's, but I couldn't wear them. So women's was first, and really tackle the comfort. But believe it or not, I have so many men come to me that have the same issues, and the shoes are uncomfortable, and it's stiff leathers, and they're just not happy.
I would never have thought that, to be honest. You look at men and they're kind of flat, and you think, they're all, no.
The thing is, I think a lot of times they're afraid to complain because they're not in 4-inch heels, and so they know the pain that we're going in, so they hold it back.
And men, it's not cool to have, say, I'm in pain, right? Yeah.
So really, jumping into the men's market would be exciting for me.
So you have an enormous vision.
Yes.
So who is the one, if you could have one celebrity, anyone, I know you said you obviously love the princess, but anyone in your shoes, who would it be? I may not just be one.
I'm excited to say that we had a top list of like 5 celebrities, and they all own a pair already.
Oh my God!
Yes. So,
do we dare say who they are? Okay, let's. Yeah, absolutely.
They need to wear them out in public.
They need to please wear them out in public. Join me. I'll do a fashion shoot with you.
So Jennifer Aniston.
I love her.
Julia Roberts.
Oh my God.
Who else? I'm trying to think of like my top. I'm so excited about George Clooney's wife.
I love her. Amal Clooney. Amazing.
I'd say those are my top 3, and I am so excited about them. Beyonce also, you know what? Beyonce has a pair.
That is incredible. So you guys, you can be in the same camp as Jennifer Aniston and Beyonce and Amal Clooney. Amazing. Go check out Jaclyn Jones. Let our audience know where to find you, where to find these shoes, how to host a trunk show, and how to rock these shoes like all these incredible celebrities.
Absolutely, and be comfortable,
and be comfortable.
Honestly, be happy.
More injured animal.
And you can go on with your life and not think about how uncomfortable your shoes are. It's a world changer. Okay, so JaclynJonesUSA.com, and that's Jaclyn Jaclyn JonesUSA.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. And if you're interested in hosting a trunk show, it's under the Culture tab on our website, and you just fill out a form and send us some info. Our email is also on the website, hello@JaclynJonesUSA.com. If you have any questions, if you want a special pair, if you want to join the team, whatever it is, we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely, you guys. You got to have this experience. Try them on for yourselves. Trust me, you will not want to take them off. You'll get this gorgeous box coming to you in the mail and host a trunk show. Think about that. I mean, that's an incredible experience. And then you've got a new factory opening up. Go visit Jaclyn's factory. I mean, you can watch artisans handcraft these incredible shoes, and you can have a pair of your own, just like Jennifer Aniston, Beyonce, and all these other celebrities. I have a feeling there's going to be way more, and you're going to be taking over the runways.
Yay! I hope so.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
An amazing experience, and trust me, I'm tempted to host a trunk show myself.
I hope so.
Yeah, I know.
All your friends will thank you.
I know they will. So thank you again for being here. Delightful show, and you guys take Jaclyn's advice. Head to her website. Consider having a trunk show. Jaclyn will be there herself, and in the meantime, cheers, beauties. Stay fierce.